Namaste. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What is good, yogis? We are going over some quick little fire drill type of yoga. We're waking up in the middle of the night or the day, and we need to run out real quick. Got the dog, got the children, got our personal belongings, so we just need to first breathe, take a few seconds to breathe, come back from, sleeping, daydreaming, whatever we're doing, keeping our quick little rest. And we just need to do checks and balances, quick little body scans, make sure, we're understanding of any, it's like when I start a beginning yoga class, ask if there's any, injuries, any ailments, anything I should, be present about. Same thing for you. Understand if you have medication, if you have a certain body injury, any dis-ease in the body, just take a note of that. And then going from list of priorities, what's most important, grabbing that, find the bags that you need. And then as you're doing these, movements, going throughout your house, you can't be super frantic. You have to understand, you got to be mindful, got to be calm, cool, collected. Everything's got to be precise. So you need to be working with your breath, and your mind needs to understand what you need to do to find this, piece of item, pack it up, get out of the building, and then also making sure that you're, well aware of your safety, checking if the door is hot, checking if there's, any disruption in your exit plan. So just being aware of those things. But as you're doing that, the biggest thing is finding this moving meditation. So if you're helping someone else, get their belongings and whatnot, just understand, like we're still moving our legs as if we're walking, as if we were running, and we've got our hips, our hamstrings, and our spine that we need to try and stretch when we can, as we're grabbing these objects off the floor, trying to get a little forward fold, uttanasana stretch out the hamstrings, as I'm leaning on the desk, trying to get a little triangle pose, hamstring stretch, pyramid pose, extended side angle as you pick up some things off the ground, and getting some little lunges, support lunges, hands on the wall, hands on the railing, hands on your desk, and try and get those muscles as you're packing things up and as you're going through your checks and balances on what you need, what your dependents may need, and then just trying to act efficiently in efficient time, because time is of the essence. Every second matters. So every breath counts, every, thought counts. And then, that's always the most extreme. And then it's a lot easier to go throughout your day when you just understand what the most extreme possibility could be. So if you're in an apartment building, just understand that, you only have so much time to get out. Other people are trying to get out too. So everything's going to be super hectic. So you need to have your stuff, together, to-go bag or something, emergency supplies, recollected easily so that you're not wasting time lollygagging, because that's how people get, stuck in buildings or just stuck, sort of like the Titanic when they separated the lower class from the upper class by closing the gates on them and stuff like that. Anything can happen, doors, anything can happen. Roof collapses, stairwells filled up, a bunch of nefarious workers. So you just need to be operating to your best ability as possible and have, multiple plans of action, A, B, C, and then, D, just trying to go through different situations. But the biggest thing is under stress, under duress, being able to be calm, cool, collected, and just in tune with what you're capable of doing in the present moment, and then just understanding, what muscle groups you're going to be using. So trying to stretch those as you're going throughout this situation, these scenarios. And that's why, schools do fire drills, and why most, corporations do fire drills, because, you got to keep you on your toes, got to keep you relevant, and understand that there's always a possibility, especially if you live in an area where there's prone to be natural disasters. Like when I was out in LA, we always had an emergency book bag at our work with, space blankets, food, hard hat, flashlights, signal mirrors, things of that nature, emergency supplies, Band-Aids, antiseptics. So, if it's prevalent for a corporation, you should definitely have that for your own household and, essentially day to day. Like if you're living homeless, you need certain things. If you're backpacking in the woods, you would need certain things. Can't always find the medicinal medication that we need, that our modern day medication was established from. So just trying to be as prepared as possible. And those essentially take care of the basic necessities, beans, bullets, bandages, roof over your head, shelter, food, shelter, clothing, and mass migration, like the stuff going on in Ukraine, or, anywhere where there's genocides going on, and, natural disasters. There's always going to be, a chance where you have to go and just, backpack up and move, all the mass migration from South America going up to North America. Anything's possible. So it's always best to be prepared and just, understand that it's a possibility and just come to terms with that. That way we're not ignorant and we don't just like, oh, it can't happen to me, or it'll never happen, and then it happens, and then, shit hits the fan, and run around with your head cut off and causing stress to other people because you can't, be the leader and settle down and just assess the situation, essentially prepare for the situation. Every great leader has to prepare for every type of, possibility, every worst case scenario, because if they get caught off guard, then they're obviously weren't doing their leadership roles of thinking of every possibility and every opportunity. That's how you build a castle, fortify your walls, make sure everyone's got food, and make sure the community's, operating efficiently and happy. Everything matters. Just like if you wanted to be the president or, governor, you gotta go out and meet the people, and, you gotta be understanding of what everybody's doing to greater the whole collective. So just as soon as you hop out, as soon as you wake up, come back to that breath, trying to stretch the hips, get a little spinal twist left, right, and then forward fold. Either if you're standing up already, getting a forward fold there. If you're sitting down real quick, just boom, just 1, 2, 3, folded forward, checking in, seeing if, one hamstring's tighter than the other, if one hip's tighter than the other, getting some neck rolls, shoulder rolls as you're going through, worrying about the priorities like packing up, and then if you have the opportunity, brush your teeth, stuff like that, do it. But if not, just bring the toothbrush and worry about it later. Just get up and out. That way you can find that plateau of, stability, essentially from the more enticing, stressful situation. So coming to that breath, stretching the hips, stretching the spine, checking in with the shoulders and the neck, because we don't want to do, a crazy movement and pinch a nerve. So being cognizant of that possibility, and that's why we try and stretch before bed and try and stretch after bed. Get a massage gun if you have, foam roller if you have, tennis ball, roll on that. Nice hard surface floor to give you some compound pressure, and just understand that there's possibility. And at any one point, just like 9/11 or any of these, mass shootings, or, if you're running with the Bulls in Italy for the Stampede, if you're about to give a big speech in front of people in a big conference, if you're, an Olympic athlete, if you're, a youth athlete, and this is your first, time starting, just understand harnessing that energy of what, we would call nerves or jitters, of just least experience, the unknowing, and just understand that, if you can operate in the present moment at your full capacity of output, then that's all you can do. And then in the future going forward, when you're not in those situations of, game day and high stressful situations where you don't have the opportunity to learn and grow and experience, some failures in a sense, or, test trials. That's how scientists get, their hypothesis. They just test things and test things and test things. So same thing for you. Try something out. Our verbiage gets construed in the English language, but try something new out, try a new skill out, add it to your repertoire, be a Renaissance person, essentially. That way you have that programmed, insight, analytics on how that situation applies to you personally. We all have different body shapes, we all have different minds, different interests. So we all can handle one situation, answer the question differently. That's why they've got like those escape rooms and all kinds of, swarm analytics, because they know not one person has, the same answer as everybody else. Someone else always challenges, just like the rule of 1 in 10, where, if everybody agrees, one person has to disagree, just to challenge the, general consensus, general opinion. So we're never going to fearmonger, none of that stuff, but you just got to understand the possibility. If it's happened in the past, it could happen again. History could repeat itself, but the best thing you can do is prepare yourself, body, strengthening, eating good thoughts, eating good food, and then doing, good workouts, being mindful about how we're standing, how we're sitting, which muscles we're favoring more than the other, because when we're born symmetrical, lefts equal right. So just try and get back to that equilibrium, balancing the left with the right, and just harnessing that breath to get you through the movements. If you're able to walk, run, getting through those movements. If you're not able to do that and you're dependent on someone, then doing everything you can to try and alleviate stress from protruding from yourself and into them, and it'll be all right. Like, if they love you, if they care for you, they'll be there, and they're definitely understanding of your situation and the fact that they're there. They love you, so just show that appreciation for them, and just stay calm, cool, collected. Beans, bullets, bandages. Stop, drop, and roll. Help someone else out if you can. But, also be aware of all these phishing and pirate scams. So if someone's, trying to be like a damsel in distress, question them. Make sure their motives are right, because people like to take advantage of these stressful situations and put people in predicaments where, they might lose a valuable one or anything. So get those stretches in, shoulder openers, interlace the hands at the low back